And a good evening, everybody. This is the sixth round of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race Extra Large in the season of 2023. My name is Eoin Harmon, and today I'm tasked with leading the broadcast alongside none other than Miika Sarkinen. Miika, how are you keeping?
Good evening. I have a mighty long day behind me, but I'm doing good and ready for this race.
Yeah, and me too. It is the XRT at Fern, I've made that mistake again. Fern Bay Black reversed. So yeah, this should be a very exciting event, and so we'll now see exactly where we stand in our calendar. There we are, June 13th, with Fern Bay Black reversed. We are precisely halfway through the season once today is done, with every race ran monthly. So yeah, the championship is heating up to suit the weather today, and at least in Ireland and the UK. I can't speak for Miika. I've heard it's a bit colder in Finland, so hopefully no one is suffering in the heat, and we're all going to get exciting racing. And this is a detailed look at the circuit of Black Reversed. An enormous amount of corners ranging from the chicanes up and down the field. You've got the big wall at turn 14, the straights, the bridges, and everything you could ask for that the XRTs will be put to their tests. So Miika, any thoughts on your end?
Not really. This is a familiar track for me. I did the Fox Friday here back in the day when it was the anniversary race, and it was 100 laps. I think it was the other way around though, but anyway, it's quite a challenge, this track.
Yeah, it certainly is among the biggest challenges on offer in Live for Speed. We now have a chance to review the car itself, the beloved XRT, with 247 brake horsepower, 2,696 pounds, or over 1,000 kilos, and the rear-wheel drive will make those tires be put up to the challenge in the 2-litre turbocharged inline 4. And we'll see what kind of strategies the drivers will think about because of that 10-second mandatory pit stop that is part of the rule set here in the XL edition of RTFR. Yeah, most drivers should be able to go to the one stopper, but maybe a few drivers may have to pit for damage repairs if they have an accident. But now this is the championship I was discussing, and Rick Cardle has a chance to really pull out a significant lead today if his championship rivals don't set a time. He's already on 100 points, 103 points, whereas everyone else from Gabor down are in the above 50 territory, 81 down to about 60 there at the Hamuli P4. Thanks again for subscribing. I saw him in the chat there. And then Rony himself in P5. So yeah, a lot of drivers could move and shake here as the championship scrolls over now into the second page, where 40 names have at least 8 points. We can see a lot of famous names like Number, Mantas, Lucas is there, Blixt, Soini, Maciek, all looking to probably grow their championship bids if they're in the session. And then we reach the final page where 52 names have made a registered point in the championship, with Adam there 52nd and last, with a few guys also tied for 1 point. So yeah, it's almost time to get qualifying concluded now. So let's see what we have to look forward to with the current leaderboard. That's Koivunen, I believe, taking his latest lap. It's his first out lap into a hot lap now, so we'll see if this time can improve. Standing there, it's Yargito, sorry. Yeah, they're running similar liveries, but yeah, Yari currently 15th there. Sorry, 17th on my end, but we'll see if he can improve his time. Not to be, and Koivunen doesn't manage his time either, so this might be Strutter, I believe, coming out of pit lane. Miika?
Just going for the out lap, and I guess we could follow him for this lap and see what this track is all about.
Yeah, so the sector 1 has these medium speed corners as well as a few tighter bends that will put the drivers to the test. You can see the rear end stepping out a little bit. And here's a look at Trespasser occupying 5th place. If he wants to break into the second row of the grid, he needs to find another 0.4 of a second over Nozzle. So we'll see if this outlap can prepare him adequately. So yeah, he should have no interference either in front or behind. Yeah, we've now reached the threshold of time where it will be too late to leave the garages and get an outlap prepared. So now Trespasser is not such a driver. He's already beginning that first attempt, hitting the hay bales with gusto there, but he's able to hang on to it. And now into the slalom he goes. No problems there. Now another left-hander. He's got to watch out for the curbs on the inside, and then the crest on the outside can take these cars loose if they're not driven with care. Now several apexes in a row here, heading to the right, and then there'll be the left to bring us onto Fernway Black and the bridge. So yeah, he's got plenty of acceleration, but a little bit too much there as he hits the wall, but the car is able to absorb the blow and carry on. And now this sector of the track, you're going to see higher speeds, but plenty of risk because of that special chicane 15, 16 and 17, but also the big wall that's coming up now in just a moment. If you go too over enthusiastically into this corner, you're going to feel a big thwack. That was well controlled by Trespasser.
That's how you want to drive it, as close as you can, but no touching the wall.
Oh,
and he actually goes on 2 wheels on the curbs. Yeah. Those curbs are so deadly here. They can flip you over very easily.
Certainly can. Yeah, we'll see now if any other drivers are on a hot lap. That's Lorenzo running a very fashionable livery. I haven't seen it very often, to be honest. But yeah, it looks definitely inspired by certainly a drift car. It certainly has that kind of stripy design with so it's not quite the flames, but certainly the rugged shapes indicating the speed. So this is a preparatory lap. He's now going to try and improve his grid position. There he goes. He's made it with 29 seconds to go. Now we're down to 22 seconds. He hits one of the bollards, but that's fine. So yeah, he's going to step out a little bit before heading into the right-hander, using all of that inside curb. Yeah, he doesn't hit the next left-hander's curb. It's all smooth. So yeah, I should hasten to say the pole sitter as of right now is Born to Race's Mantas, who has beaten Ricardo to the punch there by 0.2 of a second on a 2-minute 55.05. So we'll see if Mantas will make the most of what should be pole position, unless a direct opponent is already on a hot lap as well. So yeah, a bit loose there for Lorenzo. Yeah, he's now getting the back end working hard.
It's tricky to navigate through those very tight corners on the chicane, especially on a car like this that is very eager on the back end of the car. Hard to keep in the control.
Yeah, so yeah, he's got the tires in the optimum temperature window, and he does negotiate the triple chicane nicely. Now heading downhill right, and then a quick left and right again before an even scarier chicane, in my opinion. If you get this one wrong in the reverse format, you're going to have a very scary incident. So yeah, he's got to watch and time it. He just hovers on the accelerator, then back out with the power. That's well done from Lorenzo, and he's going to be hitting the 2-minute mark on this lap before the next sector line, a 155.06 split time. Yeah, again, just a little bit hot into the turns, 23, 24 sweeper. So see now the final section is emphasized with high speed with these corners. You don't want to drop a gear unless you really need to. It's just so quick around here. It's almost follow leader territory in race trim, but here in qualifying, Lorenzo is able to control his throttle application nicely, all clean. And now the final chicane, 1 hit and 2 hits, does get on 2 wheels, but it's under control. Magic driving the wrong way or brought to a stop there, but thankfully there was no miscommunication there between the race green teammates. And Lorenzo hugging the inside. Can he improve? Yes, he can. A 2-minute 59.06. That was fantastic. Strutter across the line. No improvement. Yeah, that is qualifying finished, Miika. So we'll now check out the provisional grid for today's race in just a moment. There it is. So yeah, Mantas does have the pole position in his command. The 2-minute 55.05 was the unbroken standard. Rick Hardle did his best. It's P2 for him. Neva has the 3rd place. So yeah, we're seeing plenty of Neva now. He's a top contender for victory. He was lucky in the previous RTF4 regular. So we'll see how it goes this time around. Nossel, P4, great showing for him with Trespasser in the top 5. Fnatic, Koivunen, Mandula, Twin Cam, and Lorenzo have completed the top 10. Soini, Rony, Michael, Magic, Yasin, Strutter, Yargtilla, Donalik, Donny, and Weed have got the top 20. And then 2 more drivers at the very end. They're all eligible to race. Their times are plenty good enough there. And they are T-Bug and Johnny SVK with his username in reverse. So, yeah, a good variety of drivers, but not too many factions. Like we do have World Class Lions and Race Green. But in terms of Born to Race, they've got 2. Sidus have 1. And Fragmasters have 2. So, yeah, it is a bit of a case of individuality here, Miika.
Yeah, it is sure for this time. And one other thing one might notice is that we're actually missing Gabor, the Hemeli, and Arska, who are on the scores, I believe, positions 2 to 4. So quite a lot of top drivers missing there, and that gives Rony a good chance to get up to at least P3 on the standings.
Yeah, so that is very true. And actually, Neva in the chat has said his monitor keeps turning black, so his ability to perform, it's obviously non-existent with that sort of issue. So I wish you the very best in sorting that out. But unfortunately, we're going to be reduced by 1 driver unless something were to change dramatically. So yeah, in the chat there, my sympathies go out to you there. But yeah, we have our grid set. It should be just about an exciting amount of drivers, good desire, and yeah, nothing should be out of the ordinary for these guys. They should be all ready to contest this the race of 26 laps. So that's 170 kilometers. So yeah, it's going to be a long one, over an hour. So yeah, got to endure the car, manage the tires and the fuel, and indeed, if you're like Twin Cam, that extreme hot weather could play a factor as well. So yeah, just to address the elephant in the room, Pete is on holidays, but if he wishes to join in, he's more than welcome. Yeah, well, he's actually at a conference, he says to me, so he's away from home. So if he wishes to participate, he's more than welcome. But at the moment, it's just going to be Miika and myself. So yeah, it will be a two-person job today with Chris McElroy operating the cameras and keeping the broadcast running for everybody to enjoy. So yeah, so we're ready to take a quick break, and we'll be ready to go in about 4 minutes for our race. And welcome back, viewers. Our quick break has come to an end, and the race is just moments away from being set and ready to go. So to bring up the topic of the circuit racing at Fern Bay Black reversed, just before we go to the grid, it is a case of a track that demands so much out of the drivers on the cars. And I suppose one section that perhaps needs a bit more thought is probably 10 through 12. That's a very, very dangerous section of track if you're going for overtakes. But we're now on the grid and ready to begin the race, Miika. So let's see how we get on. So we do have Neva missing. Nossel, though, hasn't... Oh, sorry, Rick. There we go. Rick pops back into his spot. Now it's the lights go green now, and we'll see the launch with Rick Hartle on the outside versus Mantas heading into the first chicane. It's going to be close here, but Mantas will have turn in advantage using all the curb on the inside, watching out for the bales. Rony gets a bit loose there in the very background, but he's actually got benefit out of it, Miika.
Rick Hartle had a very strong start, but couldn't pull it up like too deep on the outside, so he yelled the corner and stay behind, but he's very hungry, looking for more. Nuzzle dropped down a little bit away from Cardle and is being challenged from behind already.
Yeah, it has become a case of the two drivers versus the rest here. We do lose T-Bug in a matter of seconds because of lag. So he doesn't want to carry on in that condition. So we're already down to 20 cars. Mantas survives the first sector in the lead. If anything, Fnatic is making his presence felt here against Nossel. Position change is really difficult in Sector 2. It will be a case of the corners. Just there's so much room, but if you go on the inside into this giant wall corner, then yeah, someone's going to hit the wall and get bounced out. But watch out for Mandula, though. He's challenging Koivunen for 5th place into the triple chicane. They go 2 wheels safely lifted there, and now back onto the ground. So it's still Mantas making a dash for it. Yeah, we'll see how the drivers cope with their first excursion into the chicane. Mantas, oh yeah, they're all getting onto the curbs, forcing the car onto its 2 wheels again, so putting plenty of energy into those tires. Beautiful camera shot here underneath the cars. And now it is the tricky right-left. There we go. Seeing any other incidents or the likes. And actually, Sidus Unite, I've just seen him at the very back. But from now, Koivunen on the inside line. He's got Fnatic cornered and cleanly through Miika.
Yeah, that's a good one. He got a good exit from the crucial tight left-hander, and that allowed him to get the position early on.
So yeah, Koivunen has made a very encouraging start. The one driver is able to make a position gain up the higher reaches of the grid. So now we're gonna reach the end of lap 1 and onto lap 2. Let's see now if Twin Cam can force Mandula into a mistake, or if he can just outclass him here on the run down to the first chicane. At the moment, it seems like it's just going to be keeping it straight now for now. No one has taken a mandatory pit stop straight away. I suppose that makes sense. If there are only 20 cars remaining, you won't really have a chance to use that clean air. It could be a long time before you meet another car if you take your mandatory 10 seconds plus probably about 15 seconds to go up and down the pit lane. So be 25 to 30 seconds stop. So here is the aforementioned Unite. He had not set a qualifying time, but has been granted a space on the grid, and already he has reached 15th position. His next opponent here, Miika, is FM Strutter.
Yeah, Unite's known for being a very fast driver, and he's very capable of doing this overtakes, so I'm interested to see how fast he can climb up, let's say top 10, and even farther beyond that.
Yeah, that certainly is the objective for Unite, starting from the back and climbing his way up. Mantas in the lead has a 1.5 second advantage over Rick Hardle so far. But we'll carry on this battle.
Wall there.
Yeah,
might open up a place for Unite,
sure.
but yeah, Unite's keeping it easy. And Strutter goes to 2 wheels.
Oh, deja vu there. It was a scary moment there, and thankfully he caught it. But he's going to feel red-faced after that one. That was a common mistake to make, but it doesn't feel any nicer when it happens. He'll carry on.
He's lucky he only lost one position there.
Yeah, he is getting a bit loose, but now this is the other Fragmasters representative for today, Fnatic, battling away there with Koivunen still in the outside line. Goes Magic against Michael. There we go. It will be advantage Michael there we go. Yeah, Maciek had no other decision but to stay behind. Iron Donny is watching with interest there in the dark grey and red car. So he's getting closer and closer to Maciek. And this could be a threat that has to be quelled here for Maciek. Maybe he can distract Donny for long enough, because here's Yasin as well. So let's see how these 4 drivers get on, and possibly 5 with Unite there in the background as well. Fastest lap for Mantas, and he has the bit between his teeth.
I like when someone goes for a overtake move. It's like the car behind comes so quickly, and there's always going to be a new battle like so early on. So you're never too safe in front of another. You can always be under attack. As I say that unit goes inside and passes Yasin.
Yeah, Yasin was following the racing line, but Unite had so much speed, he was able to go around the outside between turns 3 and 4, and then the move was done into 5, and Unite already waiting to see how long it takes to catch Donny. At this rate, it's going to be a very, very short distance between him and Donny now. It shouldn't take too long. But yeah, when you're in between 2 other drivers here, Miika, your decision making is critical, because if you hit the driver in front, that will cause a chain reaction. If you slow down too much and get hit in the back, that will be another incident that will be felt from those gaining on you. So yeah, that is such a tense position to be in. But if you stay patient and you can make the overtake. That's too hard for Donny. He's going to hit the wall side first. It slows down Unite for the moment. He needs to evade the accident, but it's okay. Yasin, though, not so fortunate. He couldn't possibly overtake there with the jutted out curb in the middle of that chicane.
That is a harsh mistake from Donny. He's suffering from that a lot. But luckily he can keep the play from Yasin, who actually then steps down. Strutter comes to pass him, as he had to yield for.
Certainly a motivator here for Strutter after the error on the last lap that saw him sliding with his 2 wheels onto the grass and gravel. So yeah, he can work his way back up now with the newfound belief. He does actually get tagged in the back. Yasin, he's got to yield this position at some point. A bump and run, not very sporting, I'm afraid. So hopefully he'll concede position safely, because Teemu Soini is now on the scene. So yeah, gentleman driver Soini just didn't want to get involved. Yeah, so we'll see if Soini can make the move with legitimate claim soon enough, as Yasin had to slow down. Strutter goes onto the grass, so he is overdoing it, Meek, and he has to calm it down.
Let's go. I believe it was last Wednesday that we missed a overtake from Soini, so let's not do the same mistake today. That's a mistake from Strutter that allows Soini to get right on him, and Soini's got past. Strutter yells, "Let's go, Soini!"
And now there's a battle at the front, because Koivunen is down 2 positions. Fnatic was able to spot his opportunity, and the chain reaction was exploited by Mandula as well. So it's all changed at the front after a fairly stable 90% of the lap. It's all up in the air again, Miika. This is another opportunity for Unite. He's on the outside of Donny, but yeah, it's too difficult at the bridge when you're angling your car at that point of the track. So he needs to be probably side by side at the next chicane. That could get him a guaranteed pass, where someone has to back out for the sake of everyone. Yeah, Unite yeah, he will be sitting back for this period of the track here. Yeah, that could all change in a moment.
Yeah, Unat was a bit too eager there. That's what can happen when you take the overtake chance too early, and if you don't make it all the way through, you might end up slowing up too much to get overtaken by the guy behind you. So you gotta be very patient here and choose your battles right.
Yeah, choosing your battles, that is the key, especially when you've got over an hour's worth of driving to complete. You've got no reason to panic if you are trying to make positions, but losing time can, that is something where you just need to, stay alert as best you can, and hopefully just pull out all the stops where you can. But in terms of gaining positions, choosing your battles is exactly the term that the drivers need to keep in mind. With the lead gap, it's growing and growing for Mantas. It could be about 4 seconds by the time he registers his 4th lap and enters the 5th. So we'll check out how that fares. But the 5th place battle rages on with Fnatic in P4, blocking the road as best he can. Then Koivunen looking for a chance to rescue those positions he conceded, and Twin Cam working away there at the end of the queue. These drivers lapping in the 3-minute territory, so the high fuel is definitely making a difference in the opening 5th of the race. And the first driver I've noticed that needs to take a mandatory pit stop, it's none other than Magic, and he will rejoin 20th, or that'll be 19th, or possibly, if Johnny doesn't catch up, he'll be 18th. So there you go, 10.45 second mandatory stop, and straight out onto the track. So he is second to last now. Fnatic goes a bit too deep there, Miika.
Yeah, that's certainly a mistake, and he's not too happy about that. We have Pinkham here going very close on Koivunen, and actually I bet he's gonna gain place very soon here. It's a dangerous territory to go for overtake, but you never know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you take your chances where they come, that's fair enough. But if you force the issue at the tricky corners, that's where accidents can happen. Yeah, advantage. Koivunen overstepped a little bit as we look at Donny again. So Koivunen actually got back down to earth in time, but Twin Cam is ready to pounce on the World Class Lions' next mistake. Let's see if he can put that behind him. He does double the brake. You can see from Twin Cam's front bumper on board. He has indeed given himself a chance with Mandula just ahead. So braking very, very early. Mandula may have he's missed the apex completely. And now we'll check out any more opportunities here at the this infamous double corner now. And now it's another case of Donny out of control, returning to the battle for 4th, and Koivunen is through. So it's Mandula feeling a bit left out here. He does slide a little bit. Twin Cam, his job is to follow and see what happens next. That's a very misleading corner there. Just rises and falls so dramatically. One more chicane to go. Twin Cam's going to hit the tires, but it actually, it could have been a much harsher impact. But yeah, it does spare Mandula for this moment.
And Mandula's still keeping very close to Koivunen, and he could open up a place to overtake very soon. He keeps up this pace. We're eager to see how this battle goes.
Absolutely, but the driver who fell away from that battle has actually come in for his mandatory pit stop. That's Fagmaster's Fnatic. So Unite is now through on track, but we'll see how Magic compares with Fnatic. So this could be a rundown to the line. Yeah, it is actually advantage Fnatic. So yeah, Magic. That'll give him encouragement if he's got a driver in the top 10 before pit stop within range. That's very encouraging. But for Fnatic, his first objective, now that he has taken the mandatory stop, there was no service taken. He actually has to catch up to Yaroslav Donalik and then put a move on him. On board with Race Green's Mandula now. So with Twin Cam out of sight behind by about 3/4 of a second. This is another chance for positions to change. Tap of the wall, but it was perfectly side on, and nothing that will shock Mandula. It was all under control. So now looking backwards from Koivunen, and Unite has conceded defeat to the Weller. So yeah, that's a real life climate getting in the way of sim racing, and to be honest, I don't blame him one bit. If it is unhealthy in the heat to be racing, then yeah, gotta call it a day and come back next time. So that leaves us with 18 runners, Miika.
Yeah, that hot weather is a problem unlike real life racing, but it is for sure in simulation racing as well, especially in the summertime. Like many places around the world, it gets much hotter than it is in the winter time, so it can really affect anyone driving.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, we have Strutter versus Yasin. They'll be heading into the final sector. Yeah, they're actually in it right now. To be clear. So yeah, we'll see if Yasin. Oh yeah, he's on the grass. That's too risky into turn 25, but now into 27, 28. And the last 3 corners to go after this. It has closed the gap significantly, and yeah, he's understeering heavily again. But yeah, it seems like he has grasped it, but now with the tricky corner entry into the final hairpin, yeah, it seems like Yasin didn't like those higher speeds, Miika, but in the lower speeds he seems to be all right.
Yeah, Strutter kept very patient here and tried to force Yasin to make another mistake, but unfortunately for Strutter, Yasin didn't make another mistake as big as needed for Strutter to open up the overtake possibility. So he's get behind Yasin right now, and we get Sony in the bets, and we got Fnatic going into the pit stall here and actually retiring from the race.
Yeah, that's a disappointment there. You obviously saw the writing on the wall. But yes, Timu has taken a pit stop. Rony has taken a pit stop. No service for either of those drivers, so it seems like they're confident they can take their fuel and tires to the end. But could be drivers going a bit longer who may have underfueled and feel confident they can repay those seconds that they'll lose for a refuel and get them back with a long stint and then go light to the finish. So on board with Strutter. Yet again, we'll see if he can get the top 10 position that he craves. There we go, see Yasin again with a bit of loose exit speed there, and chicane coming up. It's also sudden. There we go, through they go, and there's the dive bomb and the drift to block the underpass there for Yasin. He couldn't possibly switcheroo there, and a beautiful move for Strutter, and he can now fight his way clear of Yasin with the momentum he's built with his car, and possibly make Michael's life difficult, but that's a gap of 7.7 seconds. But certainly the gap is minimal here. Mandula has lost the place to Twin Cam at some point, and you want it back, Miika.
Yeah, Mandela's very hungry for this, and he's looking for it for sure. He's just waiting for his opportunity here. Twin Cam might make a go himself on Koivunen, and that could have a good for Mandula if he's looking to go with the same opening of our door as we say in Finnish. But Mandela's actually fallen a little behind from the last corner, so not a very good exit from him. So
yeah, that's possibly pre-planned, or at least when you saw he lost corner exit speed, you're probably thinking, okay, let's let these two guys squabble with each other, and then when I have got my car in the optimal temperature, it's all under control, then he can try his next attack later on. But on board with Twin Cam, you can see him working that steering wheel. The ability to make one smooth turn into the corner, it's not possible in this XRT. It's very tail happy, and it will slide out on you if you make a huge press the accelerator out of corners. So yeah, that is a case of the drivers needing to push the car, but also stay in command and not overdo it.
Yeah, and overdoing it could have some consequences like tires heating up, which is part of the reason that I'm a bit surprised that anyone who's pitted already hasn't done any work like tire change or anything, because I thought people could be eager to change their tires during the race. But they are trustworthy of their skills to keep the tires in temp and not overheat them.
Yeah, I'm just checking out the compounds Evan is using, and it's Road Supers. So everyone should be on the Road Supers for this setup. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, we've lost another participant into the garage. That's Johnny SVK, who was running last placed. He did a 10-minute exactly stop with the refuel, but obviously he doesn't want to carry on, so that leaves us with 16 runners remaining, and we're only really reaching RTFR 30 minutes or thereabouts territory, and there's still another while to go, I'm afraid, guys, so gotta hang in there if at all possible. But yeah, obviously in the case of the retirement for United, he just said it was too unbearable to carry on. So yeah, hopefully some drivers can find a barrel. It would be awful to have 0 finishers in the race.
Yeah, I believe some of them will finish for sure.
Yeah.
Let's hope they have water or something so they keep hydrated and will not suffer too much from the heat. While Twin Cam is still looking for overtake possibility on Koivunen. These guys are going so close to each other. Just not really happening between them.
Yeah, there is certainly a period of ceasefire, I suppose, between these two, as Koivunen has achieved a bit of space for himself, and if Twin Cam maybe senses, okay, it's still too early in the race to put everything on the table, then it is the right thing to do. Just stay in the wake of your competitor, and then later on in the race, when strategy comes into play, that's when it could all work out for Twin Cam. Yeah, Nossel's too far clear. Mandula in the shadows, really. There he is in the background of the camera shot. little bit back behind. So yeah, it doesn't make sense for these drivers to risk a high points-paying finish when it's only lap 9.
Yeah, there's so much to lose, but yet something to win. But it's much more worth to keep it steady like this and try to reach for the end, better than pushing too hard and losing it all.
Yeah. So it will take another while for those drivers who've pitted early to get back into play, but this battle for fourth is certainly the one that'll interest me. But Lorenzo has given Donny a window, and he's going to step into the outside line for what will be the left-hander. But yeah, he's already clear on slipstream, but he may have overdone it. No, he has just about control. Nice.
But yeah, he's kept it very well. Lorenzo tried to go for the pass back right on the apex, but couldn't get just closest needed, and only keeps place.
Yeah, so Donny is now the holder of P7. Mandula is at the final chicane by the time and Donny's still in the sweepers. But yeah, here's a look at the race leader, who has faultlessly ran his opening 10 laps so far, and Rick Hardle losing a few tenths each and every lap, unfortunately. Yeah, it is absolutely sublime to see Mantas in this run of form thus far. And yeah, that will be his brief shout out. But Nostel here in P3 also running very strongly for race green. But yeah, all three of those podium sitters are well and truly separated. In the case of Nostel, he could be caught, if he's not careful, by Koivunen. And yeah, actually, Mandula has made a bit of time up here on twin cam. It may not be obvious in the first sector, but yeah, I think Koivunen has probably dropped some time. So yeah, Mandula will sense he has a chance to get in and amongst the fighting in a few laps' time. Oh, he does catch the car before he hits the wall. If Koivunen's holding up Twin Cam, then yeah, it could be a prime opportunity for Twin Cam to stake his claim for the fourth position. Yeah, Koivunen getting slidey all over the shop. This is dangerous, Miika.
Twin Cam actually goes wide because of that, so he loses all the speed for the straight. He needs to build up the speed again. He could actually go for the send on the hard braking, but he goes wide again. So Koivunen is able to keep that place still, going towards the last split of the lap.
Yeah, with the mucky tires, he may as well just take the right into the left with a bit of due care, and then pick it up again next time. Mandula wasn't too great into the corner either, but let's check out Rony here. He had pitted earlier, and this is a good opportunity to overtake Jari Kitila for the track position and to keep his targets in the forefront. So let's see what Jari does. Braking down to 30 miles per hour thereabouts. That was a good hold there from the World Class Lions representative. So yeah, Rony, he's just got to try again next time.
Yeah, Rony is closing up on these corners here, but it's a very tricky place to go for a overtake move here. Maybe he can keep it and try on the last corner. if possible. But it's a long shot.
Yeah, well, there we go. A bit of two-wheeled action there for Yari. Rony decides to go high and then cut into the apex. Unfortunately, that was a slide, so he has missed out on perhaps half a mile an hour. That could have helped him. But yeah, Yari is nearly a second slower that last lap. So Rony, time is of the essence. He has to make a move to ensure he's still in contention for a big position. But yeah, Yari has got him on the hop here. Let's see if there's any way through for the faster driver. He's going to go faster into the corner, use the extra bit of runoff on the outside. But Yari expertly puts his car onto the apex and then the racing line on exit to continue to deny the series owner.
This is so frustrating for Rony as he has a lot more pace than Yari has, and there is just keeping so defensive here and just trying the correct line, not allow Rony to come through. But we'll see if Rony can do anything here on the longer straight.
Yeah, those angry eyes on the paint scheme and a flashing of his fog lights. Yeah, this is his chance now. He's got to go for it here, Miika. The outside line here into the triple chicane. It's so dangerous.
I was going to yield. No one, but Rony makes it just ahead, so he keeps the place.
There we go. So fair play to Rony. He knows he's the referee as well as the participant. So if he took Yari aside and gave him a smack, then he knows he'd have to punish himself. So he drove it clean. Yari drove it clean, and at last the number 96 is free. So we'll see how that develops later on. Twin Cam has lost time to Koivunen, that's for sure. Mandula is getting his tools out, ready for a fight. But it's not going to be this time, Miika.
Yeah, not this time, unless Mandula gets a very good exit from the last corner, which he does, but so does Twin Cam. So they're just side by side here, but Mandula should be yielding this one as he's too far behind, and so he does directly keeping it
hitting
clean.
bollards, but Koivunen, pardon the interruption, Koivunen did take his 10-second stop there, so it is a chance for Twin Cam. Maybe not. It could be Mandula now. That was a bad exit, and it's a gimme to Mandula. You'll appreciate that one if you can just stay the course here, hang it on the outside. Twin Cam's getting him back here. One more right-hander to go before the left. That is turn 9, and the sector line will be there. So well done to Twin Cam. He looked on the verge of defeat there, but he held on and keeps position as the track eventually played into his hands again. Koivunen returns to the circuit in P9 in between Michael and Strutter.
Yeah, it's great driving, but Mandula still has something to say, or Twin Cam. He's looking for another place, but he's staying patient. He's not going too aggressively on there. We'll see how this triple chicane goes. This can decide a lot. Quite equal through it, so not really gaining on anyone's side. We're following the long straights, ending up with a heartbreaking onto the tricky right and left-hander. We got this two straights separated by this hard chicane. Will it allow Twin Cams goes wide on that, and Mandula can actually try have a go here.
Yeah, Mandula, he looked like he had a mile an hour to the good there over Twin Cam, but it didn't pay off as the Born to Race driver, who wants to emulate his teammate within reason. Obviously, Mantas is class above so far. But yeah, Twin Cam, he stayed courageous and managed to avoid the disappointment of getting his tires dirty. But there we go, he actually does lose position. This time it was too much to ask. Mandula is now through. So there we go, Twin Cam. He got lucky once with the grass, but this time it was too difficult for him to hang on. And he's got to be alert to Donny now. He's in screen, but now looking back from Yaroslav Donelik, he's got the determined Maciek hungry for that position, knowing he is one of the early pit stoppers from the first quarter of the race. And Twin Cam, yeah, he's seen the writing on the wall, moves into pit lane for his 10 seconds. It'll give him some respite. It'll give his tires a bit of respite, and it will fill up the tank to go to the finish, Miika.
Yeah, that's first thing we see a work on a car. It's a refuel, so that's probably a different fuel strategy there. As we go, watch Yaroslav Donelik going wide, and that opens up the place for Maciek, and he gains the 14th position.
Yeah, it's handy for Maciek just to have that confidence to push on and make sure you can make ground up on Yarikatila next in line. It's not too hard for him. It is certainly possible to gain that sort of time in a few laps. So let's see as we're on the crossover between the first half of the race and the second half of the race. Lap 13 to 26 is 3/4 of the way through now, with Twin Cam all the way back in sector 2 after pitting. Koivunen, who will have renewed his fight with Twin Cam. Let's see how they get on further into the lap. So yeah, this is for a net position, as these two drivers have pitted and they're very familiar with each other. That's for sure, Miika.
Yep, we have seen these guys race before, and well, usually it's clean, as we know it in these races. And we hope to see some clean fighting going on. Koivunen seems to have a little bit more pace than Twin Cam, so he's gaining up a little, and should have a go in no time. And as I say that Twin Cam messes up the chicane and goes wide, and Koivunen is through on the straight already.
Yeah, so Mantas actually takes the pit lane right on the 50% mark. So Rick has to use this chance to take the leadership role and give as hard graft as he can, with Mantas taking 11.8 seconds to refuel and rejoin the track. So yeah, this is a chance for Rick to possibly claw back some of that deficit that has been put on top of him. And he knows the track is absolutely clear. There's nothing in the way for a long way. So yeah, this is crucial if Rick wants to go long in this strategy and see what Mantas does later on. But Mantas is P2, so he's also clear and able to think about lap times.
Rick apparently had a pretty good pace at this stage of the race, and going good against Mantas. So maybe that's why Mans decided that it's a good time to have the halfway pit stop, not go away from his probably original strategy. But it's all up to Ricardo if he can keep up the good pace and make up the time that he's lost in the earlier part of the race.
Indeed, so yeah, more drivers are tempted to take a refuel. So Fragmaster's similar strategy to the Born to Race former leader, and Strutter, yeah, he is sliding on corner exit, and Maciek will notice that, with Yarikatila also in in his windscreen view. So this is a great chance for Magic to catch Strutter while he's heavy on fuel and get that 13th position. So we'll now take a chance to compare lap times in the next few minutes between the race leaders, so we'll know exactly where they stand. But Mantas still on his outlap from his pit stop, so we won't get many clues from that. Yeah, there are now battles up and down the field again, Miika. There are no more dreaded spreads, and we're now getting the competition raring to go again.
So we got this good three-way battle between Katila, Strutter and Magic, as well as we have Twin Cam and Koivunen right on each other, where apparently Koivunen has made a pass over Twin Cam.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Twin Cam has to fight his way back and see if Koivunen has a fault in his preparation that can be taken to task. So Rick, his most recent lap time there, 2:57. So he really will want to be aiming for the 2:56s. As I think that was Nossel a bit loose there on his own. He's carried on into this stint in the race. So now Jari Katila, Strutter does a hefty exit again. He is unfortunately liable to that so far today. But yeah, as long as the car is pointing in the right direction with the bodywork and other components in working order, then he will take this car to the finish. So Jari Katila has been closed down again, so it doesn't take long if the driver has the ingenuity just to put away that mistake and try again. So now Jari possibly pushing a little bit hard there. He got close to the grass. That was more in line with what he needs to do, Miika there. So yeah, carries on and on and on. Yeah, still a case of Jari Katila defending from two drivers with a lot to play for here.
Yeah, Jari is doing very good job on the defensive drive. He's keeping it right in the middle of the road, so it's very hard to try and see where you want to position your car on the overtake possibility. And that's slowed down Strutter quite a bit, and Magic has got up well away with this battle, and it's going to be a three-way quite soon. It could actually be Magic who's going to go for the first move, by the looks of it. It's a hard place for Strutter as he needs to attack and defend at the same time as Magic gives a little bump there on Strutter's end, but fortunately nothing too harsh happening.
Yeah, I see on Jari's front right, the tire is out of the desirable green into that slightly darker shade, so it could be a case of Jari has pushed as hard as he can, and with the pressure glaring in his mirror, it could be a case of he doesn't have much more to give on that tire before he needs to ease off. So Strutter and Magic, if they're able to gather that information from what they can see, they will need to follow in the footsteps of other drivers earlier in the race who saw the opening, such as Rony, and get through on Jari wherever they can to avoid losing too much time. So let's see what Aaron Donny can do now in his battle with Mandula. So yeah, this is another chance for Donny to get strong points in the season. So let's see what can be done about the threat of Mandula. So yeah, Mantas a little bit slower in the last lap than Rick, 2:57.3 versus 2:56.87. So Rick hitting those benchmarks that he needs. Donny and Mandula won't be concerned about that, but Donny has good corner exit. Jari's now. Oh, he's on the defensive, but Strutter goes in very, very.
And Magic joins the battle. They all collide. Oh,
wow,
that's a mess.
Yeah, Teemu Soini has joined the scene, and he will be very confused as to what happened there. But for Strutter, that could be a reward rather than a punishment for his mistake. He's got to be careful though. The bodywork is bent, a little bit out of shape. But yeah, remarkably, Strutter will put up his hand and say, "Yeah, I got the position because I went in too quickly into the slow left-hander." So yeah, I think Strutter is going to run for it and not have to think about conceding.
Yeah, then there was Magic coming up and making a bomb from behind, and he was the gentleman to give the way and actually let Soini through there as well. He didn't want to take the advantage from a bit of a dirty work he did. So now we got Soini looking in Katila, but will they actually do any teamwork, or is it gonna be just a head-on battle with teammates?
Well, from my vantage, I think Teemu will just want to drive his own race and not worry about. Oh, Strutter's loose into turn 5 or 6, I believe that was, and all his hard work has vanished on him. So, yeah, that was a very, very upsetting moment for him. And as a matter of fact, Yarkatila's back where he started.
Oh, yet another good defensive drive from Jari Katila so far, keeping his 12th place. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Strutter's right rear suspension, lower frame. Yeah, that's bang out of order. I'm afraid he's got to bring that car in for repairs. That's completely out of shape. Unfortunately, this camera angle won't exhibit it. We'll find out hopefully later in the lap. You'll be able to see clear as day that rear right tire is aligned in a very poor position for a wheel drive car. You can't possibly drive it. So we'll see just there. You can see that tire is out of shape, Miika.
Yeah, it's very hard to drive this type of car when you got the rear suspension out of order. So,
Turning left. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised if Strutter doesn't come in and fix this thing. So it's.
I didn't see the damage that badly when he hit the wall the first time. He must have made another mistake, possibly on the hay bales or something. So we'll have to figure that one out in the post-race analysis. But for the time being, Jari Katila will be thanking his lucky stars that his teammate has buffered Magic for as long as he has. So Magic is through. He will have turn in. So he wants to stay on the apex, but yeah, Magic through. But Jari has got cushion built up now over Magic and Teemu Soini. That'll be a job done in terms of being a team player. But now you can put that to one side and try and battle Magic again.
Yeah, Magic still has the pace advantage over Jari Katila, and he's probably gonna chase down that difference that has built up between them. But it'll take him at least a couple laps until he can go for a move again. So that's a very good teamwork from World Class Lions. Another one for Jari Katila to keep his, again, 12th place, which is quite impressive drive from him today.
That's for sure. But down at turn 20, Strutter and his limping Fragmaster's car is stuck in the gravel trap. So he's going to be waiting a long, long time to get his necessary repairs. But he's not giving in, even though the clutch temperature is screaming. So there's no rescue. He has to solve that quagmire by himself. He's slowly but surely getting there. But in terms of being a serious competitor in the race, yeah, he's actually free now. But his serious bid for points will be over, and he'll have to settle for attrition to get him back any more places.
Yeah, he's still not coming pits and fix the car. Just quite interesting move. I don't know, maybe he just doesn't feel the suspension is being a problem at this stage.
Yeah, he's still got another sector to go, and there are more left-handers to worry about, particularly the one that's coming up with Lorenzo. He's just minding his own business in 6th place. And there's Strutter there. He does manage to negotiate that corner. But it's these quicker left-handers that 25, 27, and 30, or sorry, 29, they're quick left-handers, so he has to ease it through them all now before he can get his pit stop done, and then he can finally return to the race in a state that can actually be competitive. So Donny has pulled clear of Mandula since we last looked at him, so yeah, this is highly rewarding for Donny so far. But Nussel is very comfortable there in 3rd place as of right now. So yeah, Rick's lap times are very, very impressive still. So he has given himself hope of a last stint battle with Mantas, but it doesn't seem like Mantas has conceded the necessary amount of time.
Yeah, Mantas is keeping up a good job himself as well, so he should be, by this difference, he should be all good ahead of Ricardo.
Oh, Rick, he went a bit hard into the triple chicane, and he's picked up some grass. But yeah, I think Rick is taking every opportunity he can to close the deficit to Mantas. But yeah, the one mistake I've seen from him so far, it did not throw him into a serious point of distress. So yeah, Rick is definitely willing to fight this victory. Mantas just has to do what he's doing and see what happens with the closing 9 laps of the race.
Yeah, Ricardo still could have a chance, but it's a bit of a far stretch already. But I know he'll give his best shot at this.
Now let's check out the contest again for 12th position. Yari's cushion has now been squashed. Magic now has to find a way past the defensive stalwart here in Yari Catilla. He knows where to place the car. He knows this track very well. He knows the car very well. So this is Magic. Oh, there we go. He is forced into a mistake, hitting those precarious protective tires, and Soini has not taken full advantage. Would you believe it?
Yeah, Soini has had a good effort keeping it up with Magic and not let him just go catch up Katila without him. But Soini, can he make a move here? He's pulling alongside. Can we see another overtake from Teemu Soini here? He's looking for it, but no, he's gonna yield and he's gonna make it very wide and jump on the curb. Oh, that was scary.
4-wheel jump, yeah, that's a very rare one to see. Yeah, Magic, I think he's burned those tires quite substantially, and without any sympathy on them, then yeah, Teemu will get by. So yeah, Magic's gonna feel the heat in the chicane, but yeah, I think Teemu just wants to have the perfect pass for position. He doesn't want to go half-heartedly for the dive bomb or anything untoward like that. So actually, Magic has done better in that right to left complex.
But the battle is easing up now as they build a little bit of gap between all of them. So they're not going side to side anytime soon again. Unless Sony can keep up this good pace and catch up Magic on these last corners of the lap. Magic still seems to be a little bit in trouble with his tires. They seem a bit slippery, but we'll see how he can hold on with time.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I think he has got them back into the ideal working temperature, but losing 3 seconds. Well, actually, probably more 2.5 seconds on Yari. That's very disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. So we'll see if there's any hope yet for Magic. Yeah, he will have a chance to make some gains later on. Yeah, we still have drivers going very long into the race. Obviously, race leader Rick Cardle wants to figure out a way to beat Mantas, and his approach of doing it is going longer in this stint. Nossel, I believe, has carried on his stint. So there we go. We can now take a look at the graphic that shows the drivers that have stopped versus ones that are still planning their pit stops at the end. So yeah, 4 of the top 5 yet to pit.
Ricardo's still
Lorenzo in
posting.
6th as well hasn't stopped either.
Yeah, Carlo has just posted a lap of 2:56 and 53, so he's still got a very good pace considering how long he has got on without a stop. So
yeah,
it can really be a good battle.
Yeah, still very marginal gains, but they're still very impressive to see. Yeah, we'll check out more of Magic and Timu now. It's still a case of Timu. Oh, and this time it actually is a mistake from Soini. That was his own making, unfortunately. He did catch it before the wall was there to greet him. And now Magic uses the grass for his own route to the next corners. Mandula pits. So Mandula from P5 pits. So Lorenzo has a chance to overtake him, and that's job done. So Mandula refuels using the 10 seconds as a guide. So Lorenzo now occupies 5th, but it will only be temporary as he needs to pit as well. And World Class Lions versus Race Green is on here because Koivunen has lapped very strongly compared to Mandula and Lorenzo on the last lap. He got a 2 minute 59.4. Lorenzo 3 minutes 0.2. So if Koivunen carries on this form, then he will manage to overtake Mandula on track and Lorenzo, who needs to pit.
Yeah, and the other Race Green versus World Class Lions battle on track. We still got Soini going right on the tail of Magic, while Catella pits just from ahead of them.
Yeah, so Magic.
There's a mistake.
Small error, but it's kept clear. So Magic's instruction on his number plate, Timu, he's going to wait to try and listen to it. So let's see if Timu makes the opportunity stick, because he's now the 2nd highest runner for World Class Lions. Twin Cam out of the race, so Twin Cam must have made a mistake at some zone of the track. I didn't see where, but unfortunately his efforts are for naught. Unfortunately, he's out, and we're down to 15 remaining drivers.
We haven't seen
Michael.
too much here. Is MRC Michael catching up Yasin here? It's building up to be a battle here. Michael has a very good goal from the third corner here onto the straight and through the chicane they go. And Michael goes just a bit wide, so Yasin will keep his place for now. But we'll keep an eye on this battle. It'll be a close one very soon.
Yeah, Nossel has pitted from his position. He's down 1 place, courtesy of Donny, but Lorenzo Mandula will not catch him up. So Nossel, with the refuel, easily able to stay in control of his team. Yasin, who has a pit stop to take also. Michael should be privy to that, hopefully, and he'll strike when the moment is appropriate. But he doesn't need to go for it at a risky stage. He knows he has track advantage, and Yasin will eventually be out of the way.
Yep, there goes Yasin just wide on the exit and onto the grass, which opens up a good chance for Michael to come up here on the main straight. As he does, he's gonna pull alongside on the inside line, but is he gonna be far enough? Seems like not. Oh, but Yasin yields and they go side to side in the corner. But that's Michael's corner now, and he's made it through.
Yeah, Michael through, and he gains more places because of Lorenzo. He had full service there, actually. Wheels and a refuel. So Lorenzo in 9th place now. He's just going to throw everything he's got into the remaining laps. He knows the tires will not abandon him. So that's an interesting tidbit to watch out for. But with the interval between Rick and Mantas standing at 16.5 seconds, that is just about in Mantas's favor because of the 10 seconds mandatory and how long it takes to slow down, enter the pit box and leave again. So yeah, Mantas still has the destiny riding on his side of the fence. So we'll check out Koivunen and seeing if he can rejoin that top 5 from which he qualified. And actually, Rick takes his pit stop. This is Rick's time to shine. Mantas already on start finish. So there we go, 10.15 seconds on the refuel. But Mantas, he's probably about the same distance in front as he was at the beginning of his own pit stop, and Rick is getting the rear end working hard immediately there, Miika.
Yeah, Rick has made it very aggressive on the exit, but he's still looking for a chance to catch up a bit, at least a bit of this time against Mantas. But it seems like unless Mantas does some major mistake, it's gonna go his way, the win of this race. Unfortunately, out of the picture, I can tell that Strutter has beached it again. He's stuck in the sun, slowly but surely trying to get out, but he's there again.
And that clutch temperature is 75%, filling up the bar, so it could be game over for Strutter. So close to the end. But yeah, I obviously admire his dedication to fight the urge to just throw in the towel, but yeah, I will have to say that's game over. He's not going to get that car moved.
Yeah, but the one who the game is not over yet is Koivunen, who's very hungrily looking for the 5th place from Mandula as they come through the first corners of the lap. And yeah, Koivunen's coming up very close, but he doesn't seem to be able to put those overtake possibilities here around the track.
Yeah, Sector 1, it's only really the first handful of corners that you can overtake on. After turn 6, it's just a little bit too tight. You can see those tires on the inside and the cliff edge on the outside. It's just too dangerous to go for anything here unless you have huge speed advantage. But yeah, this is where Koivunen's setup is going to hand him a pace benefit. Oh, Mandula, that slide actually helped him. And the left curve at the wall. Both drivers give it a tap. And Mandula somehow does manage to hang on in there, but as they're going to come across the beach and where Strutter has come to a halt, we can just see him there. There he is. No movement for the Fragmaster's car. So Koivunen, is he able to use the high-speed chicane to his advantage. Mandula missed the tires. That's beautifully done. So Koivunen needed that grass to help him out. And Mantas logs in an absolutely fantastic fastest lap at the top of the tree there, 2-minute 55.7, which is qualifying pace, Miika.
Yeah, that's very impressive to have that kind of a lap in the race. So very good job from him.
Now to return the spotlight to Mandula and Koivunen. Yeah, they're both making similar approaches to the corners, and that in equal machinery can only mean they're going to remain in the status quo. Tire temperatures are fine for Pekka, and they're fine for Mandula, so they're just giving it their all here at the final furlong in the race. So yeah, this is a chance for Mandula. He may have benefited from those slides in the final sector. And so we'll compare those lap times: 2-minute 58.8 for Mandula, Koivunen 2:59.2. So yeah, Mandula was quicker in that last sector.
Indeed was. So that means Koivunen will have the gain up this time he lost again, which is always not so nice when you have to redo your previous work.
Yeah, that is certainly a thing to think about. But yeah, the last few cars who need to take a pit stop are now doing so. One of them is Yasin for air attack. Oh, he nearly jumped his pit box there. He's able to avoid triggering a pit exit, so he can serve the 10 seconds mandatory, and he does so 10.5 seconds. So Magic will be his closest competitor. There's Magic crossing the line. He can see Yasin, but he cannot possibly overtake him from that far back. But he'll work his socks off to make himself a threat for the top 10.
Yeah, Magic falls just quite too bit far behind. Yes, in there to make a move, but we still got a couple laps to go, and those couple of laps here are long laps, so anything can still happen in the closing stage of the race.
Right, Jar. So if anything else were to happen, but at the moment, Mantas will cross the line, and we're going to join him for an onboard with 3 laps remaining. There could be a lap car towards the end. It's Donnelly who is just exiting turn 5, so we'll check out this onboard of the race leader, who is subscribed to us on Twitch. Had his handle there, Born to Race Mantas. He recently joined the members club, so he's very welcome in. And now let's see how he gets on to the double apex right-handers of 7 and 8. Yeah, you can see he doesn't need to touch the curb. He's perfectly fine without it. And similarly enough, there into the left before the bridge, he just about misses the barrier on the right-hand side. Completes the first split in 45.3 seconds. He does use the curbs into turns 10 and 11, and again for 12. So it is very interesting to see his different approaches to the variety of corners. Takes 100% commitment into 13. Slows it down to 90 miles per hour for the wall corner. He does tap it again. Thankfully that was all good. Now for the triple chicane, doesn't use the inside curves whatsoever. He'll take the cones as braking measurement there. Now past the beach, into turn 20 he goes, avoiding those tires. And now this is where I really want to see him in action. It's turns 21-22, the fast chicane. Oh, he does get on 2 wheels, but amazing to see him not need the grass as a means of sparing him. following him into the split 3. It's turns 23 and 24. He slows it right down. First gear and clear again. So absolutely beautiful here, Miika.
Yeah, beautiful scenes. Just driving that car so close to the limit all the time, keeping up the good pace. It's with that consistency, it's just so hard to do. But these guys, these are just something else with these cars. It's always lovely to see.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we'll carry on into the final sequence through turn 28. That was now the final chicane. Uphill, left, hitting the tires, getting on 2 wheels again. And he does need the grass to keep him on the straight and narrow this time. But out of turn 31 onto the start finish straight. This will be a 2 minute 57 lap time for Mantas. Not quite the best of the best. Yeah, 2 minute 56.5. And Rick Hardle on the start finish straight himself can respond with a 2 minute 57. So even with a little bit of punishing corner exits, it's still a fantastic lap time for Mantas. And he is just 2 laps away from claiming victory here in round 6 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race Extra Large Edition. But any other drivers on track worth a look? Mandula a bit loose out of 25. He's caught it though. Koivunen will sense there is one last opportunity, Miika, for the critical pass. It's not going to be immediate, but yeah, Mandula is using every bit of the track he can.
Yeah, and Koivunen is well aware that he still has the ability to get up to the 5th place, and I believe he's not gonna stop. He's not gonna leave it here. He's gonna go on full attack mode on the last 2 laps that they are starting right now.
Yeah, on board with Pekka, and he reduced the gap by 0.4 of a second on that previous lap. He's going to have to double that, unfortunately. He's a second behind before for the first split of this penultimate lap. So yeah, Koivunen needs slipstream to threaten Mandula for real. Yeah, we'll keep an eye to see if anything else happens there. Donnelly will be lapped down now. The race leader did catch him up, so no threat of blue flags anymore for Mantas en route to his bid for victory.
Yeah, no, it's just smooth sailing for Mantas, and let's hope he can keep it like that and not make any major mistakes. Allow Ricardo to put up another fight.
And there's Mantas. He was in the foreground there. Oh, sorry, no, that's Donnelly. Donnelly's getting loose. So, yeah, no overexcitement there for Rick. He will now put Donnelly behind on blue flag orders. So there we go. Mantas already heading towards the final corner to begin that last lap. Rick, he goes angular through the tires. Probably 3 wheels off the ground that time, but again, Rick had completely relaxed, and he'll try his very best to stop Mantas with the final lap, remaining 2 minute 56.4 there for Rick. Not able to breach Mantas's lead of 6 seconds, well, nearly 7 really, so rounding up. In terms of Koivunen and Mandula, hasn't changed for Koivunen's point of view, I'm afraid. He's not gained time. Lorenzo with those was it Lorenzo who took the new tires on at the pit stop? I'm trying to remember. He's pushing them extremely hard if that is the case, so Michael has to be on his best performance now to make sure the hard charging Lorenzo doesn't catch him for position at the very, very last. So these guys down to the final lap and a half. So Lorenzo's giving it absolutely everything. Comparing the split times, he is gaining. So we'll see if Lorenzo's strategy pays off.
Yeah, that's possible scene still that we can have Lorenzo attacking on Michael. They're getting very close together. But so are Magic and Yasin. Magic is catching up ever so slightly, and is only just a second behind from Yasin, so he could have a go here as well, closing to the last lap.
Yeah, that is a point of concern for Yasin. He's driven his own race today. He hasn't gotten himself into the glittering lights, to be honest, but it is all well and good due to the difficulties many other drivers have felt today. So my hat goes out to Yasin there. He's driven very well and just needs to put up one last resistance against Magic to celebrate top 10 finish. But into the final sector, well and truly now, is the race leader, Mantas, with Ricardo nowhere in his mirrors. He just needs to put on the final blocks to build himself the pedestal of victory. So let's see him make it to the finish line and take in the glory. Oh, there we go. Another wild incident through the chicane. He's going to drift it all the way, holding it all, and smooth exit though. So there we go. Mantas in his preference. He will be victorious, Miika. So there we go. Mantas with the stylish finish.
Yeah, congrats to Mantas. It was a superb job from him. Consistent from start to finish and not losing an inch to Ricardo, who is a very strong contender as well, with a very great second place here. Oh, but I'm looking here, Koivunen and Mandela. Mandela has just touched the wall, and Koivunen has been brought up very close to him. We still have a little bit of go here at the last lap, but it seems like it's going Mandela's way, unless Koivunen will do some huge dive bump here towards the end.
A little bit tetchy there for Koivunen. Mandula has gained a spot of time there. He just needs to stay calm for 3 more corners, and then that'll be the end of their race. Nosso crosses the line in third. A big congratulations to him as well for a very valiant performance. And Donny similarly gets the 4th place that he can be proud of. But across start finish will be Mandula to defeat Pekka Koivunen once and for all. That's 5th and 6th over the line. P7, it's Michael Malik, who has Lorenzo probably closer than he would have liked. But again, these corners do benefit the car in front if they don't get into the scenery. Michael testing fate there a little bit, but he was alert to any threat of a spin. That was 2 wheels on the wagon briefly for Lorenzo. He will have to just watch. He goes marginally onto the grass, but across finish line will be Michael sliding for a celebration. He'll be pleased with that. Lorenzo 8th. And Rony, what was he doing at the end? Was he celebrating as well? And he ended up coming to a very tepid exit, but he is very, very comfortable in 9th. He'll take that. P10 for Magic in the end. He did get that strong flourish to the finish, and Yasin does miss out, unfortunately. So there we go. We had Timu crossing the line. Yarikatila also makes it. And then Yaroslav Donalik completes the finishing order a lap down. So let's read the results one more time. Miika as our podium celebrant there. Mantas, he will be basked in the glory for sure. But one last look at the results. We have Mantas ahead of Ricardo to an hour and 17 worth of laps. Nossel P3, nearly a minute behind, but that's a very admirable performance. Iron Donny fourth, Mandula fifth, Koivunen unlucky there in sixth place. Michael Malik got the job done in seventh. Lorenzo, Rony, and Maciek for race green, all completing a very prosperous top 10 for their team. Yasin, Soini, Yarigtila, and Donleek are the remaining finishers, Miika. So, any final thoughts?
Well, I gotta say, I gotta give a huge clap to everyone that finished the race. The hot weather took its toll on some drivers, and then there were some mistakes which are very easy to make on this track. So quite a few cars were dropped out of the race, but these guys made it to the finish line. Mandas being the very strong first one, and well, it was a enjoyable race to watch. Quite a lot happening there, like all around the race.
Yeah, and due to technical issues that have hit the stream, we must call it time now, Miika. But I really appreciate all your contributions this evening. And from Chris McElroy, who ran the broadcast in the background, we give our thanks to him also. But for me, Owen Harmon, it's thank you and have a nice evening. See you again next month for RTF4 XL. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.